Oh, right, I took off all of my amulets and stuff to give to my other character. Hopefully this won't be a problem. I guess I have some older ones saved up, so let's go back to town real quick and grab them. Anyway, I've had to start this game over like a billion times. One, because that's what I do whenever I play any of these games. Oh, did I have cinematics off? Okay, I'll turn it back on. I guess I'll stick one ring on. Let's see if Mojave has anything cheap.
Mojave has everything a soldier needs.
Oh, did I not move the belt over? Oh, that would have been good. That's a level 6 belt. Eesh. Should probably replace that with something a little bit better. Let's see, are any of these actually any good? No, actually, I can probably just live without. Alright, we'll just live without. That's the answer. Okay. Ever seen load in during a cutscene? Oh, pop in? Audio settings. Oh, I do have cinematic volumes turned off. Thank you. I would have missed that. Anyway, so, the cursed word of the day, or cursed word of the year, is farming, or grind. Both of those games have absolutely just, both of those terms have just absolutely turned into dead terms for me.
I'm on the right track.
Like, I don't know what happened last year, but just grinding in general has just become such a weird taboo thing in my head. The moment I hear, like, anybody,
The echoes of battle are coming from here.
The moment I hear any game advertise grind is the moment I, like, tune out. It's my Souls-like, or my roguelike, if that makes sense. I don't know how many of you guys have this problem when you're, like, looking at or reading about games or something like that. But it's like when you're hearing about a new game and somebody will be like, it's the Dark Souls of platformers, it's the Dark Souls of...
Wildlings camp. Let's carve our own path through it. We're not letting those fugitives get away. Purity and sacrifice. No prisoners.
Yes, just a car.
Wow. It looks like this entire chapter is us going to... I bet dear old Dad's going to be the last boss. And then I bet Valeria is going to be the last boss of the last chapter, isn't that? That's probably going to... No, it's probably going to be something a little bit better. Hopefully we don't have to kill our entire family, because that would be grim.
I can't do that.
Oh boy, hurts. Never mind. Oh boy is quite dead. There we go. Let's see. But yeah, so anytime I hear, like, the word, grinding or farming or, like, just grind for it or just farm for more levels or something like that, I just, like, check out. I wonder if it was Temtem specifically that, like, really hit me the hardest with this. Where Shell and I were playing it, we've stopped at this point, just because, why is this not showing up on the map? That's really confusing. Yeah, it's just not there. You can see it. You can't go in. Weird. Grim seems to be the word of the day around here. Oh yeah, this whole game is grimdark. I mean, it wanted to be a Warhammer product. They just couldn't get the Warhammer license, strangely enough. I don't know. See, hey, Wonder, new channel icon I see. I just finally remembered to update it. My previous channel icon was just super outdated and rough. See, what did Temtem did so? Well noted. The problem is Temtem did the thing where they pulled back the curtain on how Pokemon works. But also, like, Temtem's just harder, which is good. I think difficulty can be very interesting in a game. The problem is when difficulty, the solution to difficulty is grinding, then I don't think it's a good thing. So, for those of you that don't know, in Pokemon, every time you find a Pokemon, it has inherent values, the kind of base stats that will determine its stat growth for the rest of the game. And interestingly enough, like, so say you get a Charmander. Charmander might be a physical attacker, but for the most part, it's a special attacker from what I'm used to. I could be wrong. I never really paid attention to it. But the natures, yes. But beyond natures, there was also EVs and IVs, and so say you end up with a Pokemon with like a bad nature that makes it so they'd have low special attack stat growth, that means using special attacks on them is bad. And some Pokemon just will have their own... It's weird. There's natures, there's inherent values, and then there's also just the Pokemon's base, like, stat growth. So, for example, what is it? A Jolteon has a high speed growth or something like that. And so, to get a perfect Jolteon actually takes an incredible amount of effort. And in all the previous Pokemon games, you pretty much never noticed because, like, kind of whatever, it didn't matter that much. You know, you could just kind of go through the game with an absolutely substandard Squirtle, and it wouldn't matter. Am I fighting everyone? Tribals and... Wow, okay. I was assuming I would be doing enemy of my enemy is my friend, but no, it's the enemy of my enemy is still my enemy, and I'm gonna kill everybody. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Temtem. Right. So what Temtem did was, I think they got rid of the natures, which is good, but they kept the whole thing about, like, EVs and IVs, and so you can see what your monster's stat growth will be, and most of the time, it's absolutely garbage. And so you're like, okay, well, this is a special attacker with a really bad special attack stat, so, like, scratch this, I'm not gonna bother. Problem is, then you spend like 20 minutes trying to find the peak version of the Temtem that you want, and that takes a while, and then you have to do that with like every Temtem you're interested in, and you have to do that with every Temtem you're interested in. Ooh, a green? That's a new one. Unless that's a gem? Could be a gem. Removes a random magic effect and adds another when used on an item. Will consume all socketed gems to guarantee a new magic effect whose power depends on the gem's level. Huh. That's a new one. I'll have to pay attention to that. I don't know if that's any good. Let's see, they added items that grow inherent stats, but those cost a lot. And those have no effect on... Wait, inherent stats or the, No, they added items that cost a lot that raise the other stats, I thought. Oh, this is just a thing that boosts you up. I'm not sure, but yeah, even then, like, even if they do have a way around it, but it costs a lot, that's the issue. You have to grind to get around, like, any of these things, and that just hurts for me. Because for me, grind or farming or whatever is... It truly is unpaid overtime. There are very few games that I feel like I feel comfortable putting... the grinding front and center on either of my channels. Because, like, you know, maybe if I only played Pokemon or something, that'd be okay. But I was actually watching a Twitch streamer last night. I was at a retro game bar in Portland, which, nice enough place. A lot of, yeah, old school games, a lot of N64 stuff, GameCube. But I don't think it's anything post-GameCube era, which is probably a good cutoff for retro. It'll be interesting when this game is considered retro. I don't think it'll ever will be, but like 20 years from now, this is going to be dated, which is wild. Let's see. I understand your dissatisfaction to the randomized stats, and I have to wonder what you propose is the solution to the problem. I think really the beef I'd end up with is the fact that it was designed to be an MMO, and I can't, like, just hacks it to get past it. Even as, like, a more recent example would be this game. I was specifically playing offline mode a little while ago. I recorded a couple of episodes off-stream as well, because I didn't have enough time. It was, like, noon, and I had to do D&D prep, but I wanted to make sure I had enough... Are the random dungeons just busted? Looks like they are. Weird. I'm just gonna sell stuff and see if they respawn. Otherwise, I don't know, we'll figure it out. Multiplayer seems... Or multiplayer. Online mode still seems to be a bit busted. Let's see. No, I don't think I want either of those. Get out of here, potions. Let's dump this off. Question is, does he have... I think this is the same stuff I was looking at earlier. Chops will restock in 5 minutes.
Mojave has everything a soldier needs.
Yeah, weird. the randomly generated dungeons are just not functional here. Hopefully that won't screw me over too much. At least online works at all. Yeah, it was in a really rough state last week. I'm glad to be online now. Admittedly, like, I'm not really sure if I'm better served playing online, but this means I can actually play with people if God damn, I'm going to have some problems today, aren't I? I guess the real answer is, don't stand here while this guy's hitting me, but like, damn! There are not a whole lot of games where getting one hit feels good. Let's see. Well, time to keep pumping it into, toughness, I guess. I'll get my toughness up to 100, and then I'll probably start investing in other things. Where was I going? Because I got this for the crit. Do we want to go find... We could go... We could go for attack speed. We could try and go for dodge score. Which would be weird. Interesting. I could go for just pure raw damage, because there's a bunch of melee weapon damage I could go for. I had somebody... oh, right. I was going over here. That's what I was going for, because I wanted to go for this. Yes. That's what I was going for. And this is more tank stuff, so that's good. You need dodge flat score so the percent goes up. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to go for dodge. I might try for an interesting block build. If I keep getting one shot, we'll retool a bit, and I'll just rely on good weapons to carry me forward. We'll see. Let's see. But yeah, so for this game, I was playing offline for a moment. Just to get 2 episodes out and so on and so forth. And I wanted to, yeah, I just wanted to make some headway, get the episodes up. And I ran across one of these items, one of these purple items, a lightning greatsword that allowed me to use lightning magic even while doing melee, which I thought was pretty cool. Problem was, it was way too expensive, I wasn't going to be able to afford it. And so I just hacked in infinite money so I could be able to pick it up, show it off, and maybe use it in a build. And if you actually go check my... if you go check my YouTube footage, it's the video with the most amount of dislikes comparatively to likes. Like, I think it's sitting at a 88% as opposed to a 90-something%. And so, usually when I see that happen, it's like, you've done something wrong. And the answer is, yes, I cheated. And I cheated to get past a grind, so I could get something cool and show a cool thing off. And it puts me in this weird position of just like, well, I don't want to grind, but I want to have cool things so I can actually do cool things in games. But people don't like that, so what do I do? And my usual answer is, that's usually the point where I quit. If a game's like, hey, it's grind time, I'm like, nope, bye. Or I just... you know, cheat flagrantly and just say, like, well, I'm going to lose 10% of my audience for doing this. And the other problem boils down to YouTube doesn't know what's fun. Yeah, there's that. But the other thing is, like, I actually had a meeting with my YouTube manager earlier today, and for the past 2 years, we've been trying to strategize on how to make Let's Plays work better. We're looking at, very specifically, my metrics for the past 2 years. And with very few exceptions, all of my top videos have been the first episode. I mean, go figure, why not? Everybody's going to watch the first episode and then decide if they want to keep watching more. But, like, the drop-off is uniform and heavy. Always. And so the solution a lot of people have just touched upon is just straight up never go past the first 2 episodes, 3 episodes, give or take. And I'm curious about that, and obviously, like, the question is, like, how do you reconcile all of this? And it rolls back to the grind issue of just like, man, I could put a bunch of time into this thing, but, like, my job straight up says, like, bad idea. And so, I guess my internal, like, personal resolution is just, like, usually to give up the ghost the moment any game says, like, hey, it's grind time. It's like, nope, it ain't grind time. This is time for me to leave time. Let's see, this looks like a Diablo clone. Does it play like one? If yes, I'm totally buying it. If yes, yes. You are probably buying it. It's a super good Diablo clone. It's got some issues. But, like, which ones don't? I remember Torchlight 2, I think, had issues on launch. Diablo 3 absolutely had issues on launch. Hey, purple amulet.
What a beauty.
Oh, this thing's spawning them. That's what's going on. Right. I'm not using Wings of Ishmir. I should probably be using Wings of Ishmir. Let's see, Torchlight 3 soon. I'm sort of looking forward to it. I just am not sure if it was worth killing the studio for. Let's see, wow, it's the same thing. The question is, do I want more movement speed? Yeah. Had one unique drop. I've had a lot, actually. I've been kind of lucky with them. Because I've had this hammer. I've had, like, 2 great swords and an axe? Or it was a bow or something like that. But I've gotten pretty lucky with uniques. Some of them are good. Most of them aren't as good. I feel like Diablo 3 might have done uniques a little bit better. Because they often changed how you played. This one's just like, hey, I got a unique. This thing's really good. Now I have to change how I play to match this thing. I guess it's about the same thing. I just remember some of the crazy set bonuses in Diablo 3 were just, like, super worthwhile. Can't really comment on how it works in
I have been waiting
Diablo. Envy's Denial. Single-handed sword. Please stop. I have enough money to buy it. My main problem is I'm not super interested in it. Its damage is good, but that's about it. Let's see. Toughness, resistances, scores. Yeah, that's probably better. Better than which one? This one? Don't want most of this stuff. Neat looking staff. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna sell most of my things. Let's see, is that level 16, War Shield, Wisdom, Material? Yeah, that's not great. It's about the same though. War Shield, Wisdom. It's about the same thing. I don't like spending too much time looking at this stuff. Let's see, skip, but you'll probably need to switch your hammer out soon. Until I find something with a considerably better flat damage, it's going to be tough. Hopefully I find another purple to replace it, but it might take a little while. Let's see. Did they patch the inventory price glitch? I don't think I've seen that one yet, or heard of it yet. I haven't been paying attention to the glitches too much, because I'd hate to get banned for abusing something. Is there a way to level up a weapon?
Brotherhood of Dawn territory. Valeria better be there.
I don't think you can actually level up weapons in this game. I really wish you could. Like, I'd love these games so much more if you could actually scale stuff up. I know if you're playing online, you can scale stuff up, which is part of one of my original considerations for playing this game, is that it was like, if I played it online, I could just hack my equipment to be whatever the heck I want, which is tempting, but playing online means I could actually play with other people, especially for the, Oh, hey, I can actually go into a random dungeon for once. They're actually functional. Haha! Currently, I'm doing fine. As long as the boss isn't too hard, I'll be okay. But yeah, just to finish my thing. So, my resolution, just for this year is, yeah, anytime I start feeling the grind wall too much, just stop. It's a recipe for burnout and Unless it's like a game that I'm super committed to, yeah, I'll just move on to the next game and go from there. I like games that I can beat in a couple of sittings anyway. Too much and I just get bored. Mechanics have to keep up with the amount of, like, they have to keep up with the game in an interesting manner. I was talking to my YouTube manager today again. We were talking about Persona 5 a little bit, and he said he's, like, 80 hours in, and it's, like, consuming his life, and he's not actually sure if he's having fun anymore. Which very much matched my experiences with the game, which was very much like, man, this is a cool game, but, oh boy. Hello, yes? What do I have? Okay. Okay, I've got a short-range teleport. I got that. A laser. Some kind of thing. Well, this is confusing. I think it's better that I just go with this and then occasionally press 1 and just give it. Yeah, that worked out. Let's see. Movement speed, extra damage. Yeah, it's probably better. What else do we have? We also have this one. That might be better. Let's see. Hold the laser. Got it. It'll take some understanding to actually be good at that character. Hello? Who are you? Wait. Leave the area. What? Like optional grind because you like being One Punch Man. I think that's valid. I think optional grind can be very fun, and a lot of people can really get into that sort of thing. I think I'm in the same vein. If I don't need to grind, then it feels better because then I can just stop whenever. It's when I have to grind and there's this like wall that I have to climb over, and it's just like, hey, by the way, to actually be able to do any of this stuff, you need to grind, and I'm just like, no thank. Oh, I gotta go up. Got it. I was just curious about why I can't unlock this thing.
The cult of the sleeper is allied with those wildlings. I better stop those spellcasters.
Kill the intruder.
Brother, is that you?
Valeria!
Yes! Mop the floor with the bastards!
Drink potion? Oh, that animation cancels situations.
Damn,
Weird.
Your powers have grown.
You know that one.
Yeah, we go way back.
Who are you? Why are you here? Well, anyway, sister
My,
dearest.
my. You're one hard girl to find, you know that?
I don't know about that. Mayless found me.
Yeah, I saw her body on the way here. You're the one that took her armor. You're scavenging bodies now.
If the Republic wants to paint me as a traitor, I may as well play the part. Plus, I fancy myself a Justicar now that I took the wench's armor.
What's the deal with these guys? They've got no problem with your origin? As far as I know, Daybreakers and Purifiers aren't best buddies.
We all have bigger things on our hands. We didn't really have time to bicker about it. Their EOS is pretty reasonable.
They're EOS.
You know, an EOS, like, an Inquisitor of theirs. Eos Ganez leads that group nearby in what they call the Vault of Hope.
Fine. And how did you end up behind that wall of shadows?
Brotherhood of Dawn scouts spotted a warband of these wildlings headed towards their position. As the Daybreakers helped me get out of the Republic's grasp, I had to fight with them against these invading shadow worshippers.
Let me guess. This shadow wall is what came out of it. Ugh, this means trouble.
It might be the first step of something bigger. This spell traps us on this position.
Any idea why the wildlings would attack?
To be honest, I'm not even sure it was the wildlings' initiative. The cultist you just killed was leading their ritual, and he was definitely not part of their tribe. Another power is at work.
I've seen men like this before. This one belonged to the cult of the sleeper, necromancers. Oh no.
What is it?
An attack. Everyone, back to the camp! Our brethren need us! One with the light! One with the light!
This isn't good.
A pincer attack?
Seems like it. This shadow wall blocks the only valid escape route from their camp. Whatever's attacking is going for the throat.
You guys are trapped. I must find a way to break this wall.
That would be most appreciated. I'll help them man the defenses. You find a way through.
Val, don't you bloody die. I'm serious.
Surrounded by daybreakers in their hold might be the safest place in this vale right now. I'll manage.
I know. Just don't be you, okay? Play it safe for once.
I'll do my best.
Okay. How do you cross the uncrossable? You're alive.
My sister, she was detained by Mercy, the leader of my tribe. Tell her what he did to me.
What about you?
There's nothing you can do to save me now. Hurry and find Zima. Save her.
It's not like I have any other leads. All right, I will find this Zima. She better help me put an end to this shadow wall.
Music is pretty good. Companion Shrine. Hey, I got a bet. Yeah, Disgaea optional grind. I like Disgaea optional grind. The problem is it's not very streamlined. So it's... I think the problem with the Disgaea optional grind is that it doesn't get faster. It honestly... no, it gets faster, but it's like if you want to actually beat everything in Disgaea, it's gonna take forever. What's a good example of optional grind? I don't know. I think more games need to learn from Factorio. Which is a weird thing to say, but like, I feel like grinding after a certain point should almost be an automated process. That it's like, I want to grind to get a couple more levels. Give me some kind of like crazy fun mode that I can just load up for a while and get what I need without like keeping me there for a while. Optional grind, actual Pokemon. The interesting thing is the latest two Pokemon games are actually the two that I would point at for how to do optional grind well. Like, let's go Eevee, let you grind up all of your spare Pokemon and turn it into, I don't think it really matters. It let you grind up all of your spare Pokemon and turn them into candies. And admittedly, you can only use that to level up, like, Pokemon of the same value-ish. But, like, it was nice. I remember just being like, okay, cool. I don't need to grind, but I have all these, like, spare Eevee candies, for example, that we've just come across. Let's just pile them in. It's messed up. Yes, it is. And same thing with the Pokemon raids in Sword and Shield, where, yeah, they got pretty monotonous after a while, but I only had to do so many of them to actually get, like, enough candies to do well. And more or less, I had so many candies that I was able to take a Snom, which was, like, absolutely trash tier in terms of combat viability. And I was able to make it level 99, and it's somewhat viable, despite everything. And yes, it was complete dumb, and I didn't need to do it, but it only took me a few hours, and that was all I needed.
This path leads to the heart of the Shadow Worshippers. Well, here's hoping that attacking them in broad daylight will mess up their powers.
And I think when I was younger, when I owned less games, and I think this is actually a universal truth, that the older you get, the less time you do have for these grinds. I mean, go figure, you have life stuff to do. Or not life stuff, just boring responsibilities or just whatever. But like, you know, the older I get, the more I realize, like, man, that time I could spend grinding, for example, is time that I could spend writing a book, reading a book, watching some of those TV shows I haven't seen. I have the same general opinion of filler. I don't know how many of you guys followed Naruto back when Naruto was still being filmed. I'm assuming like a lot of people have seen that or read that to some small degree. But I remember getting to like a certain point in the plot, and the game is more or less, or the series effectively went on not permanent hiatus, but permanent nothing matters, nothing is canon, because the manga needs to, like, get some more content. So here's, like, 100 episodes of just grabbage, just to keep people watching and milk this product as much as possible. And boy howdy, like, my interest in watching Naruto stopped, and I just started reading the manga, because the manga obviously had gone further, so that was kind of nice, but it was just kind of one of those where it's like, ow, shit, this guy hurts. Maybe I really should go for a block build and just go tank man. So you're talking about the 100 episodes where they just give up on finding Sasuke for a while? Yup. Where it more or less just, like, ends with Sasuke, like, running off to do whatever with his weird, creepy bat hand wing. And then kill Snuffles, the good doggy. Uh-oh. And then it more or less just, like, ports to Shippuden, where the plot picks back up again. And, yeah, I could have just done with them animating 100 episodes of some completely different story than wasting it all on, yeah, something that does not wasting it all on something that, like, has no real merits on the story apart from just keeping you watching. I don't know. Oh, bright purple dye dropped? Missed it. Say it at least added character development. But no. Ow. I'm a flimsy boy. We need this bad. Let's see. Block efficiency. I feel like block efficiency is probably a good idea. I'd have to find the perk that actually lets me block. Whoops. Ran out of rage just as I was trying to use the move. But no, if the filler had really, like, developed the world in an interesting manner, and, like, showed off a lot of other stuff, I think I'd be okay with it. But so few series I know do filler well in that regard. What is the max level in this game? Fairly high? It's like near 100, give or take. 89? Okay. Oh, I think it's 90. It's 90. If you get 89 talent points over the course of the game, then it would be 90. I don't know why they didn't just go for an even 100, but oh well. Oh right, we have to go back and find the one thing I don't like about the game: out of sight, out of mind for loot. There's no one around. I should have loot constantly showing. Level 1 is basically level 0. I actually really like it when games have start you at level 0 instead. There it is. Bright purple dye. Probably too late for this character, at least for now, but it's okay. Yeah, 0 to 100, so you get all 100 points. Yeah, exactly. Oh well.
My endurance is waning.
Like, I still want to go back to... Oh, what's a good example of really grindy games that I actually really would like to play? I mean, obviously, I still want to go back and finish Disgaea 4 at some point, because Disgaea games are actually stupid good. It's just time. Toughness, crit chance score. That's good. Lose the elemental resistance. I guess if I did plus 3% added block chance, allow any weapon to block, that would be easy enough. Let's see. Do we have a chest here? The answer is no. I guess the bad dog was the chest. Okay. Let's see. What other... So, Disgaea, yes. Oh! Shadow of War. Shadow of War is the, Shadow of War is probably the...
As the spirits whispered. We have to talk, Avenger.
Shadow of War is probably the quintessential, game that I always wanted to play, but everything I heard about it just made it sound bad and grindy. And maybe it's better now, but it's one of those that, like, just the grind wall of it is just so, like, bleh. Or even the memory of that grind wall is so bleh that I just have a hard time thinking, like, yeah, I'd actually like to put, time and effort into that game. Do we grab Juggernaut? Let's grab Juggernaut. Because I'm not going to use Fireball. This character is going to be... This character is going to be strictly melee anyway. Let's see. Saying that they should go to 100 to make it easy. Even. It's saying 90 isn't even. It's just like... It's like 90%. Like, 90% is almost there. Just go for the 100. Just go for the hundo. I blame the U.S. educational system, probably. Hi? I must have missed Zima along the way here. Oh yeah, there she is.
Avenger? Why are you calling me that?
Because that's what you will do. Avenge.
And who am I supposed to avenge exactly?
My sister. You will kill the one named Mercy. Spirits have carried the news of her death, as well as justice taking the shape of a champion. My Avenger.
You're Zima. Look, if I do that, will you help me undo the spell that he's cast?
That is the purpose of our meeting. You put me back on my path, I put you back on yours.
I don't usually consort with witches, but I don't have time right now. You're on.
Oh, free at last. Mercy's arena is north of here. He will pay for his treachery.